Tell us about your background. How'd you get started? Anyone in your family an actor? No one in my family is an actor, although my mother is a teacher and she's a really good public speaker. My father had a really good sense of humor and really good timing, but was painfully shy in front of a crowd. They were a funny pair in that way. It worked out really nicely for them. And me, I'm here. But I got started with in my public school system. In Texas, they put on plays. I'm afraid maybe they do that less and less these days. But in first grade, I was cast as a featured role in a play, and this is first grade. And I can remember, I just remember the experience vividly. And it's been later in life that I've realized how important that was to me. Maybe I'd have found the stage on my own, but found the stage on my own. That sounds so dramatic. I'm not writing a book here. Anyway, I might have come into acting anyway, but why leave it to chance? Go arts and education. From playing Sheldon with all his neurotic quirks, okay, when I first read that you'd written with all of his neurotic quirks, I thought, oh, how cute, she misspelled something. And then I realized, no, I'm the idiot. You made a good joke. It just shows how far I am from Sheldon at times. Okay, from playing Sheldon with all his neurotic quirks, is it funny when you see aspects of Sheldon in other people? Daria. Yeah, except when you see it in yourself, and then it's not so funny. Everybody's got a little Sheldon in them. Everybody's got a little of all these characters in them. I think that's why it's fun to watch if you're watching the show. I think that's important for any favorite comedic characters in all of TV. I was putting in of all time. Conceited much? One of my favorite characters in all of TV, maybe someday of all time. I understand that you only know what the writers tell you about your characters, so if you don't know for sure, would you just guess at the answer? Has Sheldon had any romantic experiences? Do you think he ever thinks about having a girlfriend or wants one at all, or does he consider himself above all that? Thanks for answering my question. I don't think he considers himself above all that. He's not considering it enough to be considering it above all that, is my take on it. No, he's not above all that. The problem is not thinking about it. Does he ever think of having a girlfriend or ever want one at all? Once again, it's not about not wanting, I don't think. And I don't know, you're right, for the writers have not told me. We just recently did an episode where the girl was obviously taken with Sheldon. I don't know how romantic it was and how much it was idol worship on her part, because she was an undergraduate student at the college she's at. But over his head, And in fact, one scene he goes to Penny's apartment and wants her help. He says, I seem to have found myself in some sort of relationship. He's so singularly focused right now. It's just hard to break through. I think that'll be a very special episode if it ever happens. Stephanie Rippon, do you have any favorite funny moments of the show or behind the scenes that you can't help but smile or laugh every time you think back to it? Ryan, probably. What's funny, not funny, what's amusing, what's funny is that there's not much joking around. There's not much pranksterism prankster-ish type things to go on. It's a very, very not dead, not too serious, but a very focused and, for lack of a better word, professional group of people on all realms of it. And a lot of that is about, we have so much fun doing the work that's what we do, you know. And to points of anger, because you want to get it right so bad. Funny moments on stage. Anytime somebody falls, it's amusing, as long as they don't break anything. Kaylee's done it more than most, although Johnny threw his knee out once, and that wasn't funny until later. I'm trying to think if anything funny happened. I may come back to this, actually, if I think that. Trying to think of something funny, it's like when an audition says, and then he laughs.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I can't laugh now.
I know.
Okay. It seems that almost all TV characters evolve as time goes on, and in some cases become very different characters than what they were in the first episodes. How do you see your character changing so far, and how do you imagine he may evolve in the future? I don't feel like yet, This is hard. I would always be better off talking about somebody else's character, but I'll try and talk about mine. This is like trying to see how have I changed. It's like, you probably don't see it. But it's not the exact same. I really feel, though, that Sheldon has sort of maintained what they did. Okay, this might be a more interesting answer. I think part of the reason it's hard to see how Sheldon's evolving is because in the situation where you're working with the writers all the time, and they're writing new episodes all the time, they are picking up so much from you as who you are and what you're bringing to the role. And you can especially see it in other people where they add in things like because they've heard you do it, or they've seen you do it, or they just get a real good ear for what would be good with you. And so you end up affecting some of the changes, and so it's really hard to see it happening because it just feels natural. Here's a funny story related to that. We had, and Johnny, don't kill me, but we had a script come down where Johnny had to say, when he saw me, he goes, hey buddy, that was it, and he had such a time with it, and he goes, I just don't know how to say that. I just can't figure it out. And Bill Brady said, we only put that in there because every time you answer the phone, you say, hey, buddy. And I was like, you really do. Every time you answer the phone. And it was so funny to see him go, I just don't know how to say this. Well, yeah, you do.